Yo, what's up? So I'm shooting my videos now at 2:30 a.m. So I have to be quiet and I cannot whisper or welcome to my quarantine days where most of my videos will be shot in this format for next 21 days hopefully or forever. This video I want to talk about how to build a skill. After a lot of research, the problem I had was like most ENTPs, I was like a jack of many trades but never a master of anything, meaning I was never really good enough to show off. So if I learned painting, I was good enough to be good at painting but not good enough to show off that I'm good at painting, you know what I mean? So I had all the skills where I'm just good at it but never really good at it, to the point where other people go, whoa, damn. In this video we are going to talk about how can we build a skill and how do you understand skill building through OPS.
Well, whatever happens, happens.
The formula is this: you consume for 24 hours, then you start blasting, and after you start blasting, you consume at the rate of improving 1% every 3 months. Let's break this entire formula down step by step. The first part: consume for 24 hours. Now what does this mean? This doesn't mean a day. 24 hours does not mean a day. It means that whatever you are spending your time on, that, for example, let's say painting, right? So I started painting. What it means is that the amount of time I spent learning how to paint, that. So if I'm spending 1 hour every day painting, that's 24 days, because I'm spending 1 hour 24 days, 24 hours. So we need to consume for 24 hours. Now here's where many people get caught up. They consume for way more than 24 hours for years and never actually start blasting, or they never actually consume and just start blasting. So either way, there's this fine balance, and the way I landed up on this number 24 is that there is this graph, which if I find it I would put it here, which shows the rate of learning, and in first 24 hours of any skill you become good at it. It's like you become better than the rest. Then 24 days later you should start blasting. Now what do I mean blasting? Blasting means sharing means showing off. Now here's what I mean by showing off. What do masters do? The people who know how to paint, whatever they do, you should start doing that ASAP. You have consumed enough. So what happened with me, where I reached to this conclusion, was I learned magic. Now magic is all this card stuff, mentalism stuff like that. I just consuming, right? How do I do this trick? How do I do that? Just practicing in my room for years, right? And I never actually do it. I never actually go and perform because I was so scared of just performing magic trick and screwing up. So I used to sit in my room for a long hours and just practice, and hopefully I was thinking one day that I would become good at it. But here's the truth of this, right? So why do you start blasting after consuming for 24 hours? Because you have to produce a lot of bad things so that good ones can follow. Let me repeat, you have to produce a lot of bad things so that good ones can follow. Had I just started performing and failed miserably back 4 years back, right now I would be an expert. So when it came to learning how to paint, I started learning how to paint for not even 24 hours. So I learned how to paint, understand the color theory, understand painting, testing out the palettes and stuff, and then I started blasting. So my blasting in terms of painting was to create an Instagram page and then start sharing it. That's it. And what we all think is the biggest trap that I fell into magic was that I always thought mastery I would become master at this craft if I just consumed a bit more, which is not true. Consuming and blasting are two very different things. Like consuming is learning the skill and blasting is like sharing the skill. That's how I define it. So if you don't blast it, we'd always be stuck in this consume loop, and most people will be stuck for years. So now we understood the first two part, right? Consume for 24 hours and then start blasting. Here comes the third part. Now you have to consume at the rate where you're improving 1% every 3 months in your blast. That's it. Now let's just break this down even further. Consuming at the rate of 1% every 3 months. What does this actually mean? Now when you start blasting, right? When you consume for 24 hours and you start blasting, let's say you started painting and start sharing your art, it's going to be super bad. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be so bad. People are going to go like, why are you even sharing it, bro? Like, it's not even good, right? But that's exactly what we want. Our goal here is not to create masterpieces, but our goal here is, okay, once you start sharing your art, every 3 months you must see it improve 1%, at least 1%. Now this 1% improvement is, you're not only improving your blast, but also you're improving the system in which you consume. So this 1% improvement is more. So what this 1% really means is that you improve the system in which you consume, such that it becomes more and more efficient. Now why do I say 1% every 3 months? Now this is the idea I got from Dave and Shan, which has been really helpful because it has given me the permission to be bad. But it has also told me, you can't just be bad for a very long time. You need to keep improving. So you're going to have a bad day, you're going to have a bad week, you're going to have a bad month. And we can't do anything about it. Life happens. So the worst case scenario, you should be seeing 1% improvement. But the best case scenario, dude, you could see improvement like 10%, 20%, doesn't matter. But if you're not improving 1% every 3 months, it's unacceptable. So this is the entire formula once again. You have to consume for 24 hours and then start blasting, start sharing, stop consuming. You had enough, stop it. No. And then you keep consuming at the rate of 1% every 3 months. Now let's take a real example, my YouTube channel. So I have consumed a lot. Like for my OPS, I studied that for a year. The philosophy that I share, I have been processing that for years again. So I know I had enough to share, and when I look online, there are not many people who are sharing high quality stuff. I knew it, but I was stuck in my consume loop of I just need to consume a bit more to master it. Rookie mistake. So I started blasting, right? And I was super bad at blasting. Like if you go and look at the first video, I was so bad at blasting. But my goal was, okay, Prem, I created a bad video right now, but I have to improve 1% every 3 months. That's it. And when I put that as a goal, and I just created bad videos every month, slowly over time, I had a system, and slowly over time, I could make better YouTube videos. So if you watch my YouTube video 3 months later, so if you watch a YouTube video 3 months later, it's going to be better in some way. Like I would have gotten the lighting better, or I have gotten the script better, or I have gotten the way I have sharing better. Something would be better. And that is where the real secret lies, because when people look at my YouTube videos now, they're like, damn man, you're so talented. But before, they haven't seen the before part. They haven't seen me failing at blasting. They haven't seen me making super bad videos. They haven't seen me like failing in public speaking miserably, right? So really, to master any skill, this is it. This is what's working for me. So, and if you are an ENTP, you are stuck in some part of this equation. Either you are stuck in this consume loop where you're just consuming for a long time, or you are stuck in this blast loop where you're just sharing your stuff but not improving at all, not having a slightest clue what you're doing, and whenever you share your stuff, you know that you're a noob, right? And improving 1% every 3 months. Why do you improve 1% every 3 months? Because for me, really, the real reason is, even though I had a bad week, bad day, bad month, it gives me permission to continue. So if I see 1% every 3 months, I'm doing good. If I'm doing good, I don't have to stop. But whereas in past I set very high standards, you know what, when I share my magic, when I perform my magic, it should go this way. I want this sort of reaction. If I don't get that sort of reaction, bro, why am I even performing, right? I used to have like thoughts like this. So if I just improve 1% every 3 months, then that gives me permission to be bad enough, but also permission to improve, and most importantly, it allows me and it gives me the permission not to quit, even when my work is bad, even when my blast is bad. It gives me the permission not to quit, because if I just see 1% every 3 months, dude, you are golden. You are golden, trust me. Not many people improve 1% every 3 months. If you do, you're golden. It's a very simple thing, but that really seems to be the key. Alright guys, I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe and share and comment. I would love to know what you guys think. I will see you guys in the next video.